finds his wife. Gears of War 2.
I can't believe it, Marcus. We finally found her.
Throughout this title, Corporal Dominic Santiago is intent on finding his missing wife Maria, who disappears after their 2 children die when the subterranean locust horde emerge from underground and she can't handle the depression.
This is everything we've been fighting for.
Yeah? Well, Maria's everything I've been fighting for. She's my f***ing wife, all right?
Although many didn't have high hopes that he'd ever find her, he actually does, sort of. Just not in the condition we'd had hoped for. When he finally locates Maria, she's been imprisoned by the locust and processed beyond recovery. He has no choice but to put her out of her misery, a heartbreaking moment in an otherwise non-stop action fest. Number 7, Carly's Death. The Walking Dead, Episode 3, The Long Road Ahead.
She could be trusted, Lee. I swear. Please.
Unsurprisingly, this grim zombie apocalypse graphic adventure has no shortage of unexpected twists, like when protagonist Lee gets bitten in the 4th episode. But this moment caught us completely off guard. When Lily gives Carly a hard time for harassing the group about stolen supplies, we're annoyed.
Just stop, would you?
But we didn't expect anything too drastic to come out of it.
You have until that walker is dealt with to tell me it was her and not you. Stop this, you're torturing him.
It turns out we were wrong, because Lily snaps, creating an unforgettable surprise moment that comes out of nowhere.
Now, what the is the problem?
Number 6, Dr. Salvador, Instant Death, Resident Evil 4. Sure, there's a lot of monsters that frighten us in this series, but there were none that made us go holy crap quite like this guy.
Chainsaw.
The sound of his chainsaw itself is scary, but we weren't expecting how dangerous he would be, since you can survive multiple scythes and axes to the chest and take small damage. And this is a video game after all. Nothing's as deadly as it should be in real life, right? Wrong. He will take your head clean off and kill you with one hit, leaving your jaw on the floor, both figuratively and in-game. Number 5, No Russian, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2.
Remember, no Russian.
Those simple words start one of the most infamous levels in video game history. There are other shocking moments in the series, like when the nuclear device detonates in the game's predecessor, but this took the cake. Listening to the screams of civilians running for their lives as you're undercover as part of a terrorist firing squad was so controversial that the level made news headlines. You can skip the level, but then you'll miss out on another shocking plot twist.
That was no message. This is a message.
Number 4, You're a Girl, Metroid. By now, it's well known that the protagonist of these legendary Nintendo shooters is female. But in the 1980s, gamers didn't have a clue when they fired up the original. Either our gender bias or our slavish obedience to
We were helping.
Number 3, White Phosphorus, Spec Ops: The Line.
Oh no.
This third-person tactical shooter has been renowned by gamers and critics alike for its moral complexity, and it reached its height with this shocker. When you wind up at the heavily guarded gate, you decide to use white phosphorus to make short work of the enemy fortification. It's nasty stuff, Google it for yourself.
Yeah, I know what it is. You've seen what this shit does.
But the trigger-happy use of such a controversial weapon has grave consequences when you find out your poorly thought-out actions result in the deaths of all these civilians. There are no war heroes in this game.
This is your fault, goddammit! Stop right there, Hugo. What it is? You wouldn't listen! My choice! He turned us into kill! That's enough, Sergeant! No!
Number 2, Would You Kindly, BioShock.
Stop. Would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Even without having our actions controlled by a nefarious businessman, this one was a no-brainer for our list. As you navigate the gorgeous underwater city of Rapture, you're guided via radio by the helpful voice of Atlas, or so you think.
A man chooses. A slave obeys.
This being a shock game, Atlas betraying you was probably an easy guess. But it's how he betrays you that's important here.
There ain't no Atlas, kid.
You think the phrase, "would you kindly," is just some sort of expression that he uses. He's Irish, they say funny things, right? But you find out he's actually using you as a pawn in his war against the magnate Andrew Ryan. And he's been controlling everything you've done with that special phrase.
Kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Before we get to our number one, let's take a look at some honorable mentions.
I give you anything. I am showdown.
Number one, Darth Revan's reveal, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
All this time and you still haven't figured it out.
In retrospect, it's no surprise that the franchise that gave us "No, I Am Your Father" would give us the most shocking moment in all of gaming too, but we still didn't see this one coming. Throughout the game, you're given hints of a former Sith Lord who brought the Republic to its knees in a brutal war, only to mysteriously vanish. So prepare to have your game turned upside down when you find out that Darth Revan is you.
Even the combined power of the Jedi Council couldn't keep your true identity buried forever.
For those who haven't played the game, imagine what your reaction would be if you found out that you were Hitler with amnesia.
Your friends do not give up easily, Revan. You always could inspire loyalty.
Do you agree with our list?
I thought you'd understand.
What shocking moment in video games took you